Today on Sports Betting Truth, we're going to talk about professional gamblers and why I'm always very skeptical of them. Now, I'm filming this video at the Westgate, and over the years coming here, I have run across a lot of people who claim to be professional gamblers. People who look the part and people who don't look the part, but I've come across them dime a dozen, and ever since starting Sports Betting Truth, I've been reached out to by a bunch of people claiming to be professional gamblers, reaching out to me, and I'm always skeptical. If you've ever watched The X-Files, you know the character Scully, FBI agent Dana Scully. She's the skeptic of the show, right? Fox Mulder, the other FBI agent, he's like the guy who believes in all the UFOs and conspiracies and everything, but Dana Scully is the skeptic, right? She is out to disprove everything that Mulder believes. And that's me when it comes to professional gamblers. I'm very skeptical. I don't care who you are or what you say you are, I will remain skeptical until you can prove otherwise. Now, what's the one thing you think of when you hear somebody say they're a professional gambler? Well, it's going to be two things. One, it's their primary source of income, and two, they win. But anybody can claim they're a pro gambler, right? Even if you don't win, and even if it's not your main source of income. I mean, I could say I'm a pro gambler, and who's going to say otherwise, right? So like I said, since I started Sports Betting Truth, I have people reach out to me all the time claiming that they are professional gamblers, and it's funny, my favorite are the ones who reach out to you and they have the works, right? They have like headshots with the suit and tie, and LinkedIn profiles and all of that stuff, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you need a headshot of you in a suit and a tie if you're a pro gambler? Why would you need a LinkedIn account? It doesn't make any sense. If I were an actual real pro gambler who actually made a living betting on sports and winning and being able to sustain myself, I would just keep it on the down low. I wouldn't tell anybody. Why would you want the IRS after you, first of all? And second of all, why would you want other people to know? I mean, are you just telling people, because you think it makes you look cool? But like I said, these people reach out to me with the suits and the ties and the headshots and everything, and they're like, and then they start talking about their clients. Clients, why would you need clients if you're a pro gambler? That could be two things. One of them might make sense. Say you're more of like a stockbroker, only instead of trading stocks for people, you're just like an investment banker and taking people's money and giving them dividends based on how you bet their money, right? That makes sense. Number two, though, you're a tout. You're a pro gambler who's actually a tout, and those are who your clients are. You take their money and sell them picks. And I think that's where most professional gamblers fall. They're actually touts, and they call themselves pro gamblers instead of touts. Like when the media covers touts, on ESPN or the New York Times or whatever, they refer to the touts as pro gamblers. But do they win? Is it their main source of income? It's a great question, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make fun of these pro gamblers who reach out to me and everything, but it's just like, really? Why would you even reach out to me if you're a pro gambler, right? They want to collaborate. They want to, work with me, and I'm like, why? You're a pro gambler, you make enough money as it is, why do you need me for it? What they're really trying to do is they're trying to peddle their tout scam. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that pro gamblers don't exist. They absolutely exist. It's just that I think they keep themselves on the down low and don't tell anybody. If anybody has to tell you that they're a pro gambler, they're probably not, or they're a loser. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, well, you have Frank Rosenthal and Billy Walters. Well, Frank Rosenthal is connected to the mob, and he won because he had inside people. He had refs in his back pocket. He had players that would shave points for him. He would have people on the inside who would give him injury information that wasn't public. It's not that he was good at picking winners. He was good at fixing games and getting inside information that no one else had. And then Billy Walters, you're not going to be able to replicate what he does unless you have millions of dollars already. He has a bunch of people sitting around in casinos across Las Vegas who all place bets at the same time to move lines so we can get middle opportunities. Neither of those are realistic in terms of being a day-to-day, everyday pro gambler who makes money betting on sports as your sole source of income. And I know this video is going to be plastered with comments and emails from people who claim to be pro gamblers and how I'm all wrong and everything, and that's fine. Like I said, I don't really care. I'm just going to be skeptical. There's not going to be a lot you can do to prove me wrong otherwise. But like I said, pro gamblers, they make me laugh. Because I just don't trust them. I think most of them are full of crap and aren't winners, and if it truly is their sole source of income, it's because they can't get a real job, so they think betting on sports is their way to sustain themselves. I'm not a fan of pro gamblers. No, let me put it this way. I'm not a fan of making being a pro gambler your main source of income. I always think you should have an actual job with a steady source of income. being a pro gambler with that being your main source of income should never be an option, ever. Even if you had an edge, even if you had a model that was totally awesome, even if you had a lot of money to stake as a bankroll and everything, it should never be an option. You should always have a steady source of income. Because what happens if your edge goes away one day, or you get banned, or you get limited? What are you going to do then, right? It's too risky. And I know it, and it reminds me of one of the pro gamblers who reached out to me. He had the works. He had the headshot and the suit and tie and everything. He had all the lingo down, the LinkedIn profile, and he's like, "I'm a pro gambler, and I do it through arbitrage opportunities." Now, I already made a video about arbitrage betting, so you might want to check that out first to see why it's not a good idea. But I wanted to tell him, I was like, what are you going to do when you get banned? Because all arbitrage bettors are going to get banned at some point, because books aren't stupid. They know where their arbitrage weaknesses are, and they're going to be able to detect if you're exploiting them for arbitrage opportunities. What are you going to do if you get banned? Are you going to keep having to hop from book to book and everything? Spread out all these deposits across multiple online books that you can't trust? I know arbitrage betting is very hard to pull off in Las Vegas, even if you have the apps. So what do if this is your sole source of income, arbitrage betting, what are you going to do when you get banned? Or you get limited or whatever, then what? So I just think being a pro gambler is not a good idea. I'm not saying there aren't people who do it, and I'm not saying there aren't people who do it successfully, but they are few and far between. They keep it low profile. They're not going to tell you. Because most of all, they want the IRS off their backs, probably. And they don't want the spotlight. So anybody who has to crow that they're a pro gambler probably isn't. So keep that in mind. That's kind of what the point of this video was, is because I get reached out to all the time among pro gamblers, and it makes me laugh, and I just wanted to have a video where I, kind of shoot it straight about what I really think about them. Like I said, not making fun of them, not criticizing any one of you in particular, speaking of those who have reached out to me, but let's be real now. Do you really win? Do you really make a lot of money? Like, I've made a video about how much money you actually need to stake in order to survive off being a pro gambler. It's a lot of money. I mean, you got to have a big bankroll, first of all. So many people move to this town thinking that, they can come here with $5,000 in their pocket and turn it into $500,000 just by betting on horses and sports and poker and everything. Not a lot of success stories there, I'll tell you that right now. A $5,000 bankroll is not going to cut it, betting $50 a game. I mean, you got to live off that money, first of all. It's just not realistic. Get a real job, make money the real way with a steady income, and then bet on sports on the side. If you're lucky enough to profit off it, just make it a side income. Don't count on it. Don't make it a part of your budget. Just be happy with anything you win at all. Anyway, that wraps up this video from the Westgate in Las Vegas on this 4th of July, Saturday morning. The Nathan Hot Dog contest is on. But until next time, this is Sports Betting Truth, signing off.